Guys, Dusty here with some more video game pickups. Yes, we found more stuff. It's been a little bit slower lately, so I haven't been able to upload pickup videos as frequently, but still, I have found some more kind of cool stuff, so I cannot wait to show you guys all this kind of cool stuff. So, first off, we found something at the garage sales. Not yesterday, well, the day before yesterday, Friday, because I didn't find anything at the garage sales then, but you know, last week at the garage sales, I managed to find something pretty darn cool. So I was looking through this garage sale, and there wasn't too much of interest, but I saw a copy of Guitar Hero 3, and I believe a couple, Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness or something. I don't know, the really crappy one for the PlayStation 2. From what I heard anyway, I haven't played it yet, but yeah, and I think they wanted $3 for them, and they were water damaged, so, and I already have it, so, you know, I don't really need to buy a water damaged $3 copy of it. So, those were obviously no's, but I figured, hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. There might be a PS2 in this garage. So, looked around a little bit closer, and sure enough, I did see a fat PlayStation 2 there, which, fat PlayStation 2s, here's the thing about flat PlayStation 2s, flat PlayStation, not the flat ones, the fat ones. The thing about them is they never work. Never. Absolutely never. I've came to the conclusion that they will not work ever. Alright? I have bought in the past 2 years at least 6 of the things, and I haven't found one that has worked. I have 2 that I know of that I don't even know if they still work, but they used to work at least. And they're in my porch right now, so I'm going to have to get to them because I found something very interesting on this PlayStation 2. Something that made it warrant me being interested in it. And that was the PlayStation modem / hard drive adapter. Now, if you're not familiar with this thing, basically, you can attach a hard drive to it. And you can kind of hack these things to load games off the hard drive. And now that's a pretty good situation because PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation games are notorious for being scratched by PlayStation consoles. So if I can save any of my PlayStation 2 and PlayStation games by just loading them off the hard drive, then that would be absolutely fantastic. So I brought this up to the person running the sale because they didn't have a price on it, and asked them, how much do you guys want for this? And they were like, we're not sure. Someone else brought this in for us to sell it for them. So, but I can go ahead and give them a call, see how much they want for it. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I looked through the rest of the garage sale. There wasn't anything while I was waiting. But they ended up calling the person who did own the PlayStation 2, asked them how much they wanted for it, and the person who owned it said they wanted $5 for it. And now, this is where things got a little sketchy. There was another person at the table who was like, well, I don't know, they've got to be worth a little bit more than that. So I had to use negotiating tactic, which I plan on doing a series eventually where I show you some tips and techniques for doing well at the garage sales, thrift stores, pawn shops, and what have you. But I went ahead and said, yeah, I guess I can do 5 for it. Basically showing absolutely no interest in what you're buying and figuring just you're buying it for their benefit almost. You want to look like you're as uninterested in the product as possible, and that should help you get a good price because it's going to give you negotiating leverage, knowing that they don't 100% have the sale in essence. So they were actually talking. And right after I said, I guess I'll take it for 5. She said, oh well, now she said she'll take 4 for it. So I was like, hey, I actually think I have 4 1s in my billfold. So yeah, I got it for $4. So a PlayStation hard drive for $4, and of course the console didn't work. By the way, this is a rare situation where it neither read DVDs nor CDs. I have, I think, 2 complete PlayStation Fat consoles, between 4 consoles, because some of them will read DVDs, some of them will read CDs, but none of them will read both. So, yeah. Anyway, though, we did get the PlayStation 2 hard drive, and I believe these things go for $15-20 nowadays. So, you know, that definitely wasn't bad. Then I got a pretty nice PlayStation 2 shell, with a non-broken warranty seal. So, hey, that's always nice. But yeah, next up on the list of stuff, we went to the Goodwill. We went to the Goodwill. And it looked like they had a bunch of PlayStation 2 games there that were entirely picked through. But I did find some games that piqued my interest because they are in really, really nice shape, and they were $2 a piece. So for one, I managed to get Burnout 3 Takedown for the PlayStation 2, and it's just in absolutely perfect condition. Disc's perfect shape, manual's perfect shape. What more can a man ask? And then next up, we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Now, I already had Grand Theft Auto Vice City. In fact, I have it right here. However, the main difference between that copy and my copy, or this new copy, is this one has the map with it. So, yeah, planning on keeping this one. And, yeah, now I don't really have a need for this one because I already checked. It's not a variation or anything like that. So, but yeah, it does have the cheats with it. So, hey, if I ever need cheats for GTA Vice City. I love finding like the printed out cheat sheets with these. It just, I don't know, something about it's just fun because it reminds me of my childhood having to, because we didn't have internet at home, but I had internet at my parents' work. So I just print out a bunch of cheat sheets and bring them home if I was ever planning on using cheat sheets or walkthroughs. I remember I had printed like a 56-page walkthrough for Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and I only got like, I still, to this day, haven't gotten much through Twilight Princess, but I do plan to eventually. But yeah, figured not too bad for $2 a piece. Next up, I have an exciting bit of news and announcement thing. My work's sending me back up to Mason City again. Yes! So I get to go to the Mason City Goodwill, the Mason City pawn shops, and the Mason City Salvation Army thrift store. Yeah, it's not very good. I hardly ever go in there just because there's absolutely nothing of any interest there. But there was some interesting stuff at the Mason City Easy Pawn shop. And that interesting stuff was a PlayStation 3 game that I've actually been looking for a very long time and have about bought on eBay on multiple occasions. And it had been there since April 27th, I believe. But we managed to find Katamari Forever. Forgot the title of it for some reason. But yeah, it's been there since April 27th, 2016 on the back sticker there. For $8. I wonder why nobody's picked this up for $8. I mean, this is a $15 game, so I figured, hey, I'm getting it half under market was when I was looking for anyway. There's a little dog earring on the manual. I got through some of it, but I'm going to have to like flat press it to get it non-dog eared again. But yeah, I had the game. It has some weird surface scratches on it because Blu-ray discs don't get surface scratches, but this Blu-ray disc has surface scratches. It works perfectly fine. I already tested it and everything, and it works fine, but kind of weird that it has surface scratches. But I also found another game there that was kind of interest, and that game was Wii Sports. Now, this is actually a version of Wii Sports I didn't own. This is the later SKU that has just the printed-on disc rather than the laser-etched disc. So, yeah, and it's also a different version number. The one I have is version USA 1, right on the bottom here somewhere. Yeah, USA 1 down there. This one is USA 2 down there. So I figured, might as well grab another version of Wii Sports, because you can never have too many copies of Wii Sports unless you have too many copies of Wii Sports. In that case, you have too many copies of Wii Sports. Anyway, all right, and then next pickup, I suppose, we managed to find at the local pawn shop. And, you know, they look like they had some new DS games on the shelf. And not really much of interest besides Harvest Moon Island of Happiness for the DS. Now, I already have a Harvest Moon game for the DS, but it is not this one. So, yeah, very, very happy to find this one. I would like to find all the Harvest Moons for the DS because I do want to play the Harvest Moon games someday. They look like the kind of game that I would be into. But yeah, all right, and the next pickup actually came from the Mason City Goodwill. I went through the Goodwill, I went up there 2 days, all right? The first day I found Katamari Forever and Wii Sports, and the next day, the first day I should say, that the Goodwill just looked absolutely barren and plain and nothing of interest, but the next day it looked like that, but there was something different on the shelves, and okay, it was just by itself, there was no other games with it, but somehow, for $3, they were selling a Black Label Super Smash Bros. Melee. And when I grabbed it, I was like, what? This exists in my hands right now? Because, guys, if I can find it here, my video's running out of time. Well, my capture thing. Where is my Super Smash Brothers Melee? It's somewhere here, I'm sure. Yeah, right here. My version of Super Smash Bros. Melee is, of course, the original Yellow Label. I think there's a Yellow Label bestseller version, too. But, yeah, it's the original Yellow Label, and it doesn't have a manual with it. This one is, like, basically as clean as a GameCube game gets. So, I mean, it has the game, manual, everything like that. So, yeah, and I'm running out of time on my capture. So that's really it. Thank you guys for watching this pickup video, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy.